I just recorded this entire thing upside down, so let's go again. The second thing Hitler does to gain power after the Reichstag fire, he uses this to help him pass the Enabling Act, as I said. The Enabling Act enables Hitler basically to do whatever he wants in order to put down the terrorist threat. As long as he feels there's a terrorist threat, and he decides again when it ends, he can do whatever he likes. A very similar thing, not the exact same thing by any means, but a very similar thing would be the Patriot Act passed after 9/11. There was a massive terrorist attack. In order to deal with the terrorist threat, U.S. presidents are given abilities and powers they never given before in the history of the United States. For example, we talked earlier in the year about how multiple U.S. presidents have drone striked U.S. citizens without a public trial, as long as they're outside the United States. All they have to do is declare them terrorists. Hitler will use this largely against the Jews, obviously. But either way, in the beginning, he just goes after communists or the people he can declare as terrorists. He does go after some Hasidic Jews early on who are especially anti-German or speak about leaving Germany or speak against World War I back in the day, or speak against World War II. But at the same time, he commends and makes note of his friends who are notable soldiers who have won medals in World War I, some of which have very notable Jewish names and are, of course, Jewish. And he forgives these people eventually later on for being Jewish, of the quote crime of being Jewish, and declares them official Germans. So its hypocrisy continues. Either way, the Enabling Act allows him to do whatever he wants to do within his country, to enable him to essentially do the Holocaust. He's not ready to start it yet. He's not even sure he wants to do it yet at this point. But it is the next step in his path to power. It also allows him to get rid of and declare terrorist multiple people on the other people in other political parties who he eventually determines are terrorists. And this will last up until the war starts, and then that new crisis starts up. He swears he's going to put down the power and not abuse it as soon as the terrorist threat is done. But of course, he's going to abuse it, and it's going to keep going till the war is on, and then he'll declare that another national emergency. It's a little bit similar to what's going on today in the United States with coronavirus. Very little bit. One, the threat is real. We didn't make the coronavirus, unless you believe in that conspiracy theory. Fine. Whatever. But we're shutting down different shops, and they don't have the right to open up after 8 o'clock. And some of them might reject it. There's a singer named Kid Rock that probably you guys never heard of, but I saw on the news that he was going to keep giving concerts, that he declared it anti-American or against his Bill of Rights. It's not. They have the executive power to do that legally. Maybe they shouldn't, maybe they should, but they do have the right to do it. Adolf Hitler, in a democracy, through the Enabling Act, gains the power to do similar things and much, much more. But right now, there's also things you normally can do, like if you own a restaurant, you can't open up. And this is going to be devastating to some restaurant owners. It's also probably going to save some lives, but you know. Hitler's initial support is because they think the Enabling Act is going to help him save lives from this terrorist threat. So, hold on. Let's try and see if it works better.